it. So RHYTHMIZER 2.0 was a sort of follow-up to RHYTHMIZER 1, which was part of our Radical Devices bundle of Max for Live devices that Raphael made. And so we put out Radical Devices, everything in there very popular, and that was part of the uncut bundle for live. And then you got in touch with me, must have been a couple months ago, or just now, more like the start of the year, saying, "Dude, I've been working. I've got this. I've done this new update. You got to hear it with Miser 2.0." What inspired you to make these updates?
I mean, I just got a lot better once I got because the RHYTMIZER one I made, like, I was just starting to learn the Max for Live programming. But it's an idea I had for a long time, something, and it didn't really exist in the way I wanted to. So, but then I got better, and I don't know, I just got more ideas how to flesh it out, how to make it more precise. And because the first one is like, it's a great to just, turn a few dials, get a groove going straight away, but it doesn't have the kind of, like, you can't fine tune it in the way like you can now with the RHYTMIZER 2. You can really fine tune it. And obviously there's a lot more functions.
Yeah, we've got the new scales, which total game changer for me. And we sort of worked together on and with Ben on getting the scales in there. And well, look, let's just head straight into screen share. Everyone just wants to see it. Let's hear some music. Let's do it. Cheers from Armenia. Hey guys. Hey Moss. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Is this one of your current tracks?
I just made a quick template, basically. It's just a kick and bass, 148 BPM, the way I usually work, and some percussions. You can have a quick listen. So yeah, very bare bones. So I just thought, it's a good.
What can we do about that?
Way to start. We can just, well, I thought we can just do some, sound design, because that's where RHYTMIZER really shines. You can just get the groove going and start designing your sounds right away. And, well, yeah, let me start just. I'll make a MIDI clip. I mean, I will probably start with some FM lead style, because RHYTMIZER 2 has a very powerful rhythm engine, and I always think these kind of FM leads are the best way to show it off, really. So
that's what I love about it is, it's in the demo video I made, I was using it for piano and for bells and stuff, and you're coming at it from such a different approach, and we got people from all genres using it for such different ways.
Absolutely, yeah. I was really inspired the way you used it also, because I really went at it much more rhythm focused sound design, the style of sidetrains I make. But you made some killer stuff with those bells, and very inspiring. And there's always ways you can find out how to use it. It really works in any style.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just get into it. I mean, I've started Whittle, and here is like just the default 16th note groove. So I like Whittle a lot now. I just recently started getting into it. And it has this really nice function to make FM leads. Basically, you can assign the LFO on the pitch, and then straight away resample it. But let me go first into basic shapes. So it works the best, with the basic shapes. I prefer the square waves. And then resynthesize. I'll get rid of the LFO and straight away we have it. It's a bit...
Bing, bing, boom.
Let me pitch that down. Very easy. So yeah, let's make some rhythms. So yeah, of course, the new section, this you already know from RHYTMIZER 1. It's kind of the same principle, but you have a lot more options. So RHYTMIZER 1 was always fixed on 16th. Now I can choose, like, if I want to start with any notes, like I can make a 8th note group. Or 16th is the classic, and then also for every of these 3 steps you can choose which note you want to add to this groove. I mean, the 16th, 8th is like classic and kind of the one that works the best for this. And then with the gate also you have very fine controls, how if you want the note super short. So yeah, this is like a basic groove. So with this random, it's just gonna choose a random note length for each note.
Yeah.
And kind of the gate bypass is one of my favorite functions.
Yeah, walk us through it.
Yeah, what it does is you can set it here to the note values. If I set it to 8th note, it means the 16th notes are gonna play it through this gate, so very short now. But when it triggers a 8th note, it's gonna play the full, so it's not gonna go through the gate. So you can make like really nice combinations here. And then also it's gonna apply if I add some quarter notes. So yeah, I just had this idea when I played with RHYTMIZER 1. Sometimes if you inject like quarter notes and at the same time the gate is very short, it's just gonna result in a pretty large gap. So that's kind of the way to avoid it. So if a longer note is being triggered, it's gonna play the long note and then it's gonna switch again to the like randomized gates here. Which is
it's a great improvement.
It's a quite unique function and it works very well for these FM leads, obviously. So let me just add a filter quickly. And here we can also use the velocity section. So I'll assign the velocity. And now I can control it with this gate. And add randomness. So I have basically, it's like, in Serum, the note on random. It works kind of like this. But I have a lot of fine control. Yeah, so very easy, very quick, pretty complex
Get a few
groove
30-second
patterns.
notes in there.
Yep. And what is also very new is the LFO. So I can choose to, if I have it on random now, it's kind of the same thing, but not exactly, because now it's just gonna choose a value for each eighth note. So it's kind of a different, also sample and hold, but it's not for each note a new value. Now it's just for each quarter note it's gonna change.
Right, because it's not sliding. It's not going to have your filter sliding smoothly up and down. It's every
Exactly, yeah.
time every time it hits a note, it's going to stay and stay. So it's great for a sort of step filter.
Yeah, and very interesting is it if you use like this kind of sign, or I like a lot to use the up. So it's a ramp up, but it's gonna sound very different too if I just assign a LFO in the synth, where it's like a smooth curve.
Yeah.
It's still here a smooth animation, but it's just gonna trigger one value for each note. So yeah, I have still this kind of animation for each full bar. It's doing one sweep, but it's still kind of this stepped feeling, which is quite a unique, nice effect.
You can imagine how long it would take to sort of draw that stairway in, or, you know.
Yeah, of course.
In a synth.
And with all these notes here, it's, yeah, a huge deal.
Yeah. So are you using the scale, and are you using the scale mode much in your music, or?
Yeah, but it depends. Like, for example, in this FM lead, I don't like much if I'm going like in minor.
No.
I don't know, for me it doesn't really fit this kind of lead. But what I like to do is, for this, to use the octave modes. Like, this note is still kind of too high for me, so I can shift it down one octave. And the low note is still kind of too low, but it does sound nice, like, if it rarely happens. So what I can do is like put the probability very high, so 80% of the notes is gonna be like what he played before, but the other 20% is gonna play the root note, which is now the pitched down note.
Just getting the occasional one.
Exactly, yeah. So it's just adding some variety. Right. So maybe I'll also use the LFO, because when you hear the long notes getting triggered, it's very static. So I like to have still a little bit of movement. And I really like it with this LFO because it's not completely randomized. It's still following kind of a pattern, but obviously it still has a lot of kind of randomization in the note length and in the note pattern itself.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
That's was so great. It's not like totally random. Like, you can add just a little bit of random to
Exactly,
anything
yeah.
you're doing.
Just a little bit of variation, but you still have kind of a recognizable pattern. I mean, obviously, you also know, if you already know my first Futurephonic pack, you know I'm like obsessed with randomizing everything. That's just how I work.
So what's your workflow? What's your workflow then? Because I mean, this is the question that comes up. So it's just a random. It's just going to randomly write your music for you, or like how do you? At what point does it stop becoming random, and do you start sort of committing?
Yeah. So what I do is like almost always I work in audio. So this kind of random approach, I use it for discovering sounds. So like the happy accidents. It's kind of a way to force those happy accidents to happen. If you just like randomize, you put a bunch of effects on it, you record the session, and then you're gonna find some like super unique stuff, which is what I'm looking for. It's a good way to find that. And then afterwards, in the real songwriting process, it's not random anymore, because then I will use the actual recorded audio and like search for the good stuff. So like we can start to, where is it here? So what I would do is just record a session in here, and we can also, like, if I make the loop quicker. Here.
Can't think of a better way.
I can play around with the settings meanwhile. Alright, so now we have a bunch of stuff. And obviously now really nice in Live 11, I can just go in here, take lanes, and now I can kind of comp together the stuff I like. Usually I will record a lot more.
Live 11 comping.
Exactly, yeah. So
Big
I can
update.
just, I have to deactivate, so. So yeah, that's one way. I prefer to, listen, and maybe it's because I'm not so used yet to using this whole comping. I'm starting to love it really, but what I would do is usually, I'm listening for good sections and then I'm using it inside the track. But first I'm gonna need some more sounds for sure. So yeah, we can maybe start up a new one. Let's show off some other features. Like for example, the band mode, which is also quite unique.
Yeah. Throwing some new skins there. So we got 7 different colored skins. This was an idea that came in quite late in the game. Did a mad dash to get these nice skins together. So you've got the
I love this
gecko vibe on. What are you guys' favorite skins? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, I like the gecko one, and also I mean the primary is super sick, and then also the kind of the inverted chroma style is one of my favorites.
I'm an
I like to switch it up. Oh yeah, sure.
It's probably fusion for me actually.
Fusion, okay.
Alright, let's show it off. Let's see. Oh yeah, fusion, and
I mean, it depends what kind of mood you're in,
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, it's a nice little touch.
Yeah.
I like it. So yeah, let's take some new synth, because this thing obviously it works with any synth.
Any synth. I think you summed it up so well when you said it's, sort of creating happy accidents, encouraging happy accidents. I really see that as the sort of primary function of this device. It's not supposed to be writing your next hit. It's just encouraging. Increasing the opportunity that something really cool is going to happen.
That's right, yeah, and it's good for inspiration, you know. I always found like I don't know, it's a good way to generate stuff you wouldn't otherwise think of, you know. It's kind of a little
Absolutely.
bit out of the box then. So I would go like maybe I can make some squelchy sounds, which is where you can use the bend mode very nice. So we have this kind of scale modes. We already showed off the octaves. And then also the pitch bender, which is basically a LFO. And it works on the pitch bend, which you can also program in MIDI. So let's see. But I also have to use the probability, so this is kind of unique. So you can choose like for each note, now it's 50%. 50% of the notes are gonna be flat and the rest is gonna be affected by the bend. So let's see. And what's also important, it kind of depends on the settings inside of the synth. Where do I do this in Pigments again? Oh yeah, here it is.
And you can actually see the pitch bend wheel.
Yeah, here it goes.
Moving along.
Let's do something extreme. So yeah, you can hear half the notes are not pitched and sometimes it's pitch bending it. Which is pretty nice.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Then let's use the velocity again. Let me see, I haven't used this with RHYTMIZER a lot. Oh, here's the velocity. And this is also gonna sound really nice if we use some longer notes. Maybe let's go 8 notes. And also the gate bypass. Maybe some voices.
It shouldn't be legal.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so easy now.
And
that's what I
you
mean,
mentioned that you were opening up Pigments, and you hadn't sort of used it much with RHYTHMIZER before. And that's the thing, like since I've been using RHYTHMIZER, I've started going back to a lot of sound sources, which I haven't opened in a while. Just like, oh, I wonder what that would sound like with this. Oh, actually, sounds quite cool. I never quite managed to crack it before, but it's like,
Yeah, I've been throwing it a lot, like with the Futurephonic Serum presets, for example. Yeah. Your old ones or the virtual light ones. And then you just
I prefer the term legacy.
Legacy, right? Yeah, that sounds better. Yeah, exactly. And you just chuck in this and see what happens. It's kind of a very quick, easy way to modulate these presets and get something new. So yeah, let's see what we have. So it sounds really nice when the long notes are starting to come in, trying to get kind of this vocal sound with the bit crush.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There we go.
Maybe can use some random here also. Try wet. I'm really a big fan also of the binary functions. So just go from 0 to full. And of course, if you want to take the randomization a little bit more extreme, I can also randomize the RHYTMIZER itself. So maybe put it on here. So. So yeah, we have modulation on the rate of this pitch.
Randomizing the randomness.
Exactly. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sit back, make a nice cup of tea, and let the machines do the talking.
That's right. So yeah, I think that's pretty nice. Let's see, maybe we can make some arrangement later, but I'll record again some stuff. Oh wait, that's... There we go. Zoom is messing with my... Here we go. Here, for example. Okay.
You had a great little technique for scrolling through clips of audio.
Now I'm hearing some sound from your end. Is that from you? 1 second. Can you hear any music? Because I'm hearing it.
Yeah, we can.
Hmm.
Are you watching the stream as well? Oh, they get stopped.
Tapping into
Yeah.
some alien signals. You had a great little technique for scrolling.
Sorry, small
through
technical issues, guys.
Yeah, I
Tinfoil
feel like I
hats.
hear the stream audio now. But it's not from me because I have it turned off the volume.
What
1
about
second.
now? That could have been me.
Yeah, now it's good. No worries.
Judging from tonight, it was probably me.
Yeah. So yeah, now we have a whole bunch of sounds again we can choose from. Like I already
See, I
heard
was saying
some nice
that
parts.
you have a nice technique for scrolling through little clips of audio. Was that little shortcut you were using?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things
Yeah.
in Ableton. So I can just, if I decide to put this sound here. Wait, turn this off. Or I just, well, on PC it's Shift Control, and then I'll scroll through my recording. So that's kind of the quickest way to scroll through long recordings and find some material.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I
it's.
didn't know that.
Sorry, what was that?
So yeah, I didn't know that. That's a good tip. That.
Yeah, it was mind blowing when I found out this.
Yeah. You cannot unsee it.
No, it's such a time saver.
What was the shortcut again for anyone who missed that?
Shift Control and then switch. And on Mac, I think it's Shift Command and then scroll, if I'm not mistaken. I also really like it if I have kind of an arrangement of sounds. Like let's say we have this sequence here. Well, it's not much, but my point is, let me say I have an arrangement and I'll just duplicate it because I like to have kind of a, even if it's super randomized, I still like to have kind of a repeating structure, so it's not a complete mess, right? So in this case, it would be kind of the question answer between those leads. So you can very easily duplicate it and then, shift through and you have. So yeah, quickly, 5 seconds you have kind of the same idea, but the rhythms, the grooves change. So yeah, that's.
So one of the things I that kind of brought me over to Ableton, now that I'm sort of have converted to Ableton, and I mean I still use Cubase here and there, but slicing to MIDI and that's where RHYTMIZER is also extremely powerful. So say for instance, if we were to take one of these synth parts and use that functionality, can you maybe set that up?
Yeah. I wanted to get into this anyway because I found a really nice way to kind of blend some leads. So let's say, let me use this sequence. And what I want to do is kind of make some super glitchy stuff and then slice this into a new rack. So I'll just use some of my Ableton racks. Just the quickest way to do that.
It's a little something I prepared earlier.
Yeah, just a little plug there.
This is from your uncut bundle for live.
Yes, right. These are the audio effect tracks.
Glitch control.
Exactly. So yeah, let's just mess around a bit and see what happens. Right. So yeah.
I think you found that sweet spot right at the end.
Yeah, that did it. So let's select some nice sections. Okay, let's go with that. Let me just quickly heavily compress this.
Just casually smash the crap
Casually,
out of it.
yeah. Alright. Freeze it. Wait. Oh no, it did work. It was too quick for me to notice. I have a new computer and this crazy fast CPU. It's pretty nice. Alright, so here we have a mess of glitchy stuff. Whoops. Alright, so we can go slice to new.
Because we're just getting started.
Exactly. I'll take 8th notes here. Usually I was taking 16th, but if you use RHYTMIZER, it's kind of nicer to have larger chunks because you can really use this kind of groove engine. And then yeah, just delete everything. One long note on the first slice. Let me turn off this.
You know you can press legato?
Oh yeah. That's this one, right?
It's the one thing
Let
I
me
know.
try that quickly. Nice one. Perfect.
Boom.
Is there a shortcut for that actually? I don't know. I'm just too used to the way I
Just
do
click
it.
it. Click the
enough,
button, Raphael. Just click the button.
Fair enough. So let's choose warmth now.
You can make a new device which just automatically switches that button on.
What do you mean?
Terrible joke, sorry.
Alright. Never mind then.
Never mind then.
So, yeah. Now we have just the first slice, right? It's kind of in a loop per default. I just turned it from 0. So it's not, it's just the first slice. So yeah, here's where the arpeggiator comes in, which is going to the chromatic mode. I'll turn on 100%. And now we see here kind of the samples. You can also put it in the up mode. So with one more sample. I guess I could also count here. Here it says.
Yeah, you can
24
see how many
samples.
slices though.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
And yeah. And instantly something new.
Yeah.
That's great. Also
Why don't
amazing
you play a little bit
for
more? Let's hear it.
yeah. Yeah, it sounds super nice. Also very nice for if you have like drum slices. For example, I was playing around with 9 Cents has a very nice new pack also on Futurephonic.
Groove mutations.
With this kind of glitchy percussion samples, so it's also nice to just chuck them into a drum rack and play around with the RHYTMIZER.
Plus
So,
the
yeah.
bend mode works with this as well, doesn't it?
Right, yeah. I saw that in your video. I never played around with it personally. Here we go. Obviously, you can just use one slice then.
But you can use the transpose to switch slice. The shift button.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. That's
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, see, I'm learning stuff too. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Can you can you also like dial in the pitch bend amount? I'm not sure how it's controlled in here. It must be in the settings somehow. Velocity.
I've never been able to do it with a sampler. You can do it with, is that simpler? One of them you can't do it with. It's annoying. It's caps on plus or -5.
Right.
Okay.
Wonder if anyone in the comments
I see.
knows how to do this, how to increase the pitch bend range.
Right. I haven't been reading the comment section too much.
Yeah.
Anyways, I wanted to.
Anyway, yeah.
I wanted to show off one kind of fun trick. So let's take the first lead we made, right? So I'll just delete this now. And I'll turn off the filter also. So now we just have. And
Return to the source.
exactly. I'll just record this. Gonna put it on 0 also. And now what I can do is I'll put this on the first slice. Oops. Here we go. So now I can kind of switch between this FM sound and all the other slices I have, right?
Nice.
So let me put it on 0%. I have to turn the release down. And the cool thing is you have a filter in here too. That's why I turned it off in the vital, because and you can even use the velocity. So here's the velocity control for the filter. So, but I have to turn off the. Here it's controlled the velocity volume, so I don't want that. I'll turn this to 0, and also wait. Copy to siblings for all the samples. Because I want the volume to be the same level, right? Right, so the fun thing is, now I can switch, if I turn up the probability, I can have 50% is playing this kind of FM groove here, and the rest is just gonna play a selection of these glitchy samples we made. Right. Oops. We don't need that. That's this channel. So if I turn probability lower, it's just rarely happening, and if I turn it high, it's mostly glitch and sometimes the main groove. So yeah, that works very well. Maybe compress.
It's nice.
So yeah, I love this trick. It's kind of
The thing
Yeah.
is like to do that manually, to have like done all the automation on each of the revisions and stuff, and done all the different notes would have taken so long.
How
And
would
you've
you?
just managed to smash it out in like half an hour.
forever. I mean, you would do it you wouldn't do it this way, obviously. You
That's the
would
thing.
kind of switch between different way, but this way you can do it like in one. And I think that's the only way you can do it within one drum rack, kind of switching between two. And now I just showed this, but you can like take a completely different sound here and kind of switch between two sounds based on this probability. So yeah, there's really a lot of ways to use it creatively. Even I am finding out stuff, as you can see.
Yeah, I mean, it gets you doing things that previously would have just been way too much work. You know, it's I mean, yeah, having one sound which is modulating, which is switching in this groove-like way between a random selection of sounds which you've selected as well. I mean, yeah, like Ben said, can you imagine doing that in with the scissors tool? Yeah, I mean, just forget about it. And this has you doing it, or yeah, you could create 2 or 3 different really nice hits and have it alternating between those, using that shift button as well. So that's what I just love about this thing, is it gets you doing stuff that normally would be almost impenetrably difficult.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe you wouldn't even have these kind of ideas. Again, this is just a way to generate like cool stuff. I would now, again, next step would be to record this, and then I find nice combinations, and then I'll use it to write an arrangement with this.
Yeah.
And again, like I can use it for drum samples. Let's maybe try that out.
And
It's
you can
also
have
used to-
2 or 3 going at the same time. If anyone's seen the demo video, just 3 channels of bells, all with very low density. Density isn't something we've really looked at yet, but
Yeah,
you can have 4 or
right.
5. You can have an orchestra of rhythmizers just creating a whole world of sound. It's really cool.
Yeah, the density, you just turn it down. So if I put it to 50%, it's like only half of the notes are gonna get triggered. So yeah, that's an easy way to kind of, yeah, make it a little bit less full.
Quite nice if you want to have
snippets.
short clips and put some delay on it, for instance. I know Ben saw that as well. Like, you just have just, you have the density on 20%, so it just plays occasional things, and then you can start getting some effects on it.
Let's try that out. Let's make a classic echo boy delay. Yeah, that's actually very nice.
Yeah.
Kind of get some space going. But it's not too extreme, like if I put it on 100. Yeah.
Amazing.
Let's see, maybe we can show off some more melodic stuff. Because that's still a big section. And it does inspire me also because I make a lot of sound design heavy music, obviously. But it does inspire me a lot to kind of experiment with scales, get some ideas quickly this way. Let's see. Let's throw in Serum maybe.
Yeah, it just starts chucking melodies at you. Oh, never would have thought of that. But the point is you have to. Your creative year still has to curate. You see, you're still the selector. You decide which stuff goes through. So still totally
Completely, yeah.
interactive.
So the way I use the arpeggiator is I like to record the MIDI. Like previously we were recording audio sections. But for melodies, it's very nice to record straight into MIDI, and then you can really select some small chunks you like and then combine it or edit it afterwards. It's kind of nice to get a starting point.
Yeah, if you could
for a
walk
melody.
us through how you record the MIDI, because a few people were asking about that in the comments.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Let me select some presets. So here's the legacy stuff, right? Maybe a bit more. Let's see how that sounds. That sounds pretty cool, actually. So yeah,
hit those macros first.
what I do is, yeah, I'll get to that. Yeah, basically I just make a MIDI channel. Before I was just making an audio channel, and now you route in the, which one is 18 Serum. And press record. So yeah, you get all the MIDI information. And then, well, usually I like to listen, and I'll stop recording as soon as I hear like an interesting section, and build from there. And then basically I can just get rid of that, turn off the RHYTMIZER, and so this pitch bend is pretty nice.
So you're getting some portamento there.
Yeah, yeah. Occasionally it does it when there's that
Yeah.
overlap. But just sometimes. Actually, it
Little
might
hidden
be,
mode.
what I noticed is it's a little bit less precise when I have a bunch of RHYTMIZERs and Max for Life plugins. Because if it's a fresh session with just RHYTMIZER, it's not gonna happen. I did it on purpose
The
because
overlaps.
yeah, I programmed it on purpose because it was generating like chords all the time. The problem is it's very easy to do if you just have one steady note 16th. It's never gonna happen, you know. But as soon as you introduce like all different types of notes, it starts to get a lot more complex. So just FYI,
Yeah.
if you need an extremely precise result, then maybe get rid of all the RHYTMIZERs that are going. So
Kind
yeah,
of go against the whole philosophy of the thing. It's calculated imprecision.
yeah, true. So yeah, here I can do the same trick, by the way, in MIDI. I can slide around. Play around with those macros. Maybe turn it down one octave. And also in the new Ableton 11, you can go in the scale mode. So we used, yeah, minor pentatonic, right? Which is kind of our favorite scale because it works. It sounds nice 100% of the time, basically.
Yeah, for anyone who's not so music theory savvy, like minor pentatonic is, if you're writing music in a minor key, which is like most sidetrans, is the most safe, because you can also write in like the minor scale or any of the minor scales or in any scale you want, but you're going to get a lot of like, you know, seconds and sixths and kind of like perfectly good notes, but there's like a lot more notes to choose from, whereas minor pentatonic is like just focused, all the kind of sort of romantically good notes. It's just foolproof, basically.
Right. Yeah, so what I was saying is now you can go and they added this in Live 11, so you can choose here minor pentatonic. And you see the RHYTMIZER already wrote all in this scale. But if you want to make some adjustments, you can just go in here and easily stay in the scale. Let's try another sound. There's too much phaser. there's already some modulation here.
Begin sequence macro is going to start an arpeggiator. That's why you're getting some weird notes there.
Oh,
That is that bottom
okay,
one.
yeah. Gotcha. But yeah, the point is, the best way for me is to generate MIDI. And yeah, again, you look for those happy accidents in the randomness, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes it's just a very small section which sparks an idea to go into the MIDI afterwards and adjust and make your own melody out of it.
It's a happy accident generator.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, and then just switch preset and in a whole new world. Well, I mean, I feel like we've sort of covered most of the main functions. I was gonna say, have you ever tried running two on top of each other? I don't know, like maybe if you put one on like octave or something.
You mean
Like
with
if you had one
okay.
Rhythmizer,
I guess I know what
then you
mean.
had two in a row. But the second one was
I'm
like,
not
yeah,
sure I've
like
done that. Let's see what happens.
octave.
Yeah, I mean that should work.
Put your safety goggles on.
Let me reset those automations. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, it works apparently.
It works. All right, guys. Well, yeah, I think we've like pretty much run through the main functions. It's a genius bit of kit, man. It's really
Thank you.
great.
Yeah, I'm proud of this one.
I hope you guys at home have enjoyed watching. I mean, let us know right now if you have any questions. I think we pretty much covered it. Okay, public service announcement. A lot of people are asking about VST. I know. So first of all, it's not quite that simple. Making a Max for Live device, although it's taken you a lot of time, we also spent a lot of time developing it. It's still a different. You don't need to necessarily be like a full-time software C++ developer.
Yeah.
Making the VST is a whole other industry, basically. We do have someone working on it though, and so we're looking into it. I know you guys want to use this with Cubase, Logic, FL Studio. We are on the case. The second it's possible and it's available, you're gonna know all about it. but for now, it's just so groovy for live, and it's just fits in really nicely. But yeah, I just want to say I do hear you guys with VST. We are on the case. There has been a question, but it looks like it's in Russian or possibly Greek. So, see translation. Hello, Uncle Johnny. Not too sure.
Fair enough.
Raphael, thank you so much for showing us through RHYTMIZER 2.0 tonight.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Good session.
Always great to see your live technique as well. Ben, thanks for joining.
That's right.
Matt manning the boards. And thank you all so much at home from all over the world for tuning in tonight. We're going to be back next week with a new live stream. I will leave a link in the comments for right now for where you can grab your copy of RHYTMIZER 2.0 if you don't already have it, although it seems like most of you do, which is awesome. And good night. Enjoy the rest of your week. Okay. Bye, guys.
Right. Good night, everybody.
Cheers.
Bye.